Hello, welcome to episode 11 of Crazy Combos. This is your host, Pavo, and I'm here with my good friend,
Dino. What's up, guys? How's it going?
So, Dino, another week, another day, another dollar. What's been going on with you, buddy?
I got suspended from work.
School? Oh.
Yeah, from school.
It takes me back to high school days.
Yeah, the only difference is when I get suspended this time, I don't eat this week.
Oh, so that's that could be the next trendy diet. Just get suspended from work and don't eat for a week.
Or, the homeless diet where you go homeless.
And then
you get behind on your mortgage.
And then you do a bunch of drugs and pee in like the streets and poop in the streets and stuff.
That's all I do. I mean, I do that now. What's the difference?
Yeah. It's trying to save the planet, right? No need. You could just dump it. Like it's natural. Fertilizer. Yeah, it's fertilizer. It goes back to the earth. It's
a circle.
So, Dino,
how about you? How's your week? How's everything going with you?
So I went to a Latin festival, and we tried some new food I had never tried before. So I would say it was a pretty good day.
What food? Ass?
No, it was Peruvian food. I don't know what the thing is called in English. I asked the guy what it was, and he was like molleja, which I think is like a weird part of the chicken.
Molleja? Isn't that just paws?
No, it's not paws. It was kind of hard. It's like some part of the chicken.
Isn't it pork? Isn't that just pork like knuckles?
No, it was what do they call it? Gizzards? Chicken gizzards?
Oh, gizzards.
Yeah. Gross. And I didn't know what it was. I just thought like the plate looked good because the lady got it. And I was like, I never had Peruvian food. I think I had Peruvian chicken once, but this was different. So we had this ceviche, and ceviche was goated. Like, I heard some really good things about Peruvian ceviche, and if you're in the fence about it, I highly recommend you try it. He gave it to us, served it in a plate, the ceviche with a bunch of onion, a bunch of lime. It looked really good, and then he put like this little roasted corn thing to the side, and then he put some what are they called? They're like tostones, but like they're this plantain, like
the
fried chips. Yeah. And my girl was like, oh yeah, Peruvian is like famous for their ceviche, and she really liked it. And I was like, yeah, Mexico's still number one, but this is pretty good.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I disagree with everything you just said. I hate plantain. I hate ceviche. Everything you described to me sounds just awful. Fuck Peruvians.
So then I, being the carnivorous person that I am, I ordered the meat dish, which was like, it came with like this 2 little potatoes and like a lettuce leaf, and then the rest of it is just a bunch of meat. It was chicken gizzards. It was chicken. It was like lomo, which is like I guess the back of the cow, and like it's sliced really thin, and they do it in this sauce and they grill it. And then there was something else, like it was very fatty. I forgot. They were using all these weird parts of animals, and
it was just cock.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The ceviche was like a 9 out of 10, about 9 out of 10. The meat was about a 8 out of 10 altogether. Oh, we also, since my wife to be is from Honduras, we went to the Honduras stall, and there's this thing called baleadas, which are kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of like big tacos or like big, kind of like half burritos. I don't know how to describe it to people that don't know them, but they're like handmade flour tortilla, and then they put like beans and cheese and some other stuff in the middle, and they're pretty good. Every time I tried them before, I thought like they were just okay, because I hadn't had a really good one. And normally they put a bunch of meat, avocado, they put all these things on it, all these toppings. Today we tried a really simple version, but everything was like homemade. The beans were homemade, the cheese, Everything was so good. It was just simple. It was like cream cheese, beans, and the homemade Honduras style tortilla. It was like 9.5 out of 10.
So it's just tacos. That's what you described to me.
It's like a really big half burrito, half taco mix. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it was pretty good. I recommend it.
All right. Well, I'm never gonna try any other food other than my comfort foods. That's just how I am. I think you're crazy, dude. Trying new foods. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, you're a very close-minded person.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I always like to try new things. Like, in fact, I think that was kind of my goal. Like, if I see something new that I haven't had before, we're gonna try it. So we tried the baleadas because we tried them before, but they weren't really good. Then we got some pupusas from El Salvador, stall thing. Then we got we ate a lot, as you can tell. We tried this drink. I forgot what it was called. Chema or something? Chicha. It was called chicha. And it was like apparently made out of corn, but it was red. It tasted like Jamaica, like hibiscus tea, kind of, but different. Yeah, it was called chicha, and it was from Peru as well. Then we tried. We tried. I don't know what they were doing at a Latin festival, but there was like this ice cream place selling like boba tea and stuff, so like Asian theme, and they had like Toro ice cream, which is like this purple eggplant thing, and that was also really good.
Yeah, get your pagan food out of my face, dude. I don't know what any of that stuff is.
Well, that just means you gotta expand your horizons and like try new things, Dino.
Nah, I've tried ass, and I think that's as far as I need to go.
I was gonna say you cannot tell me you are afraid to try these foods when you have a story that you share on this podcast about you eating ass and there being like little pieces of toilet paper like left there, like.
And I'd still rather eat that than your pagan food. I don't even know what any of that is, and I don't like it.
Oh, I there was one thing that I did not get to try that I kind of regret. You know how they have like Mexico, they do these drinks, kind of like mangonadas, that type of drink. Where they add like toppings to it, like spicy and like other fruits and stuff. There was this guy that was like adding like those mango Arizona teas, like yeah, he was like opening them up and like adding stuff to it and like adding some other fruits and like chamoy or something. And I asked this little girl.
With alcohol?
No, because I saw a kid drinking it, but it looked good, and I love Arizona tea. So I was like, oh, yo, little bro, where you get that? I was like, where did little bro get that? Or and he looked at me, and then he just kept walking, and I was like, man, little bro didn't even want to tell me.
That was the correct response.
Yeah, and I was like, I did see it later, but by the time I saw where they were selling it, I was already so full from trying all these other things, and yeah. Oh, there was this Mexican place. The people that said, oh, I don't like my own Mexican cuisine. I do. But the Mexican thing they were selling was like queso birria. And I've already had it a bunch of times. And honestly, the people that were selling it, like, it's decent. It's not that good. And last time I went, because it was the same people I got some from like the last 2 weeks, like 2 weeks ago, they forgot to give me consomme with my order. So I was pretty pissed and didn't want to buy from them again.
My man over here eating dry beef flaps.
I'd rather eat that than go back to the people that forgot to give me consomme with my queso birria. Like, bro, that's like half of the experience. Like, how the hell? I got it to go, so I didn't feel like driving back. But I was like, bro, how do you forget to give me my consomme with my order of queso birria tacos? Like, bro.
Well, I got something to top that if you want to hear the story real quick.
Of course.
So one night, it was like after work, I was on my way home. My wife had already eaten, and I didn't want to eat whatever she ate with her family. So I was like, I'll just order some food real quick, no big deal. I ordered a order of queso birria, like tacos, and it's like the end of the night. They're literally cleaning up the kitchen as I walk in. They're almost done, right? So I go up, and there's like a what's it called, little plate, like a food tray thing, with like in a bag, and I assume it's mine, and I ask him like, hey, is this mine? This is my order, and they're like, yeah, that's yours. Yeah, yeah. Like full confidence. They didn't even look up from like what they were doing. So I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, I guess I was the last order. So I pay for it. I go home. I open it up, and it's fucking the weirdest quesobirria I've ever seen. So first of all, it was an egg omelet looking thing, and it was like an egg with spinach or some kind of leaf green and cheese, and I was like, the fuck is this? And it had rice and this weird like tomato sauce, and I was like, this isn't what I ordered. What the hell? My wife was like, did you say it right? I'm like, I hope so. I think so. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else I can confuse it with. Like, I have no idea how they messed up this bad. I ate it because, I mean, what am I gonna do? Not eat it? But then like I go back to the place where I bought it from, and they were like, hey, you, I've been looking for you. I'm like, oh shit, what I do now? And they were like, oh, we gave you the wrong order. That was my husband's like lunch for tomorrow. It wasn't your order. I was like, oh, that explains a lot. I got a free order of food.
Oh, nice. I mean, at least you got some food. I thought it was because they were about to close or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, did I fuck up? Like, I was like, and my wife was like, did you say queso birria? I was like, yeah, I said queso birria tacos. And she was like, I don't know then.
That reminds me of something. So there's this Japanese place that I love going to, and it's like one of those places, you know, that they only have like a limited menu, but everything they have is really good, and most people get like hibachi or teriyaki. And one of my friends used to work there a few years back, and we used to go all the time, you know, and that day we were going to hang out after he got off work. So we're waiting for him to get off because we had just eaten there, and we're all going to hang out together afterwards. Well, this guy comes up, and there's like 5 minutes to close, and he pulls up, and he's like, you know, he orders hibachi chicken. And I guess the people were already cleaning up and stuff, but due to the owner or whatever, they're not allowed to close till it's actually 10 or whatever time it was. So this guy shows up, and they give him his plate, and then right when like they close down the restaurant, this guy comes back right like 10 minutes later, and he's like, hey, I got home, I come back, and he opens the plate and he shows us, and it's like literally 2 small pieces of chicken and a bunch of rice and like no veggies. And normally they give you like veggies, they give you you know, your meat, whatever meat you order, they give you your rice. But I guess it was at the end of the day, and whoever was like, I'm not cooking more chicken, and literally just grabbed 2 small pieces that were left over and threw them in there. The guy was so mad. He's like, I've been coming here for like 15 years. Y'all can't do me like this. And the guys were like, oh, we're already closed, sir. Like, you can come back tomorrow. We'll give you like a refund. We'll give you a free. And the guy was so mad. He's like, what am I supposed to eat today? A bunch of rice and 2 small pieces of chicken. And they were kind of like, yeah, we just got to go. We got to go. Like, you know, we already clocked out. We ain't dealing with this for free. So they just left. But I was like, that was so wrong. And
yeah, such a dick move. Like, those 2 pieces of chicken are probably like under the fucking stove. They just kicked it out from under the stove. Like, this'll do.
Yeah, they did him so wrong. I felt so bad for him. And that reminds me of another experience I had, which this is honestly kind of funny, but so I go there all the time, right? So one time I always get an egg roll and like a chicken teriyaki. So one time I get home and notice I forgot my egg roll. So I'm kind of mad, but I don't feel like driving back. I'm like, whatever. So then the second time I'm like, hey, can you make sure to put the egg roll in there? I think last time it wasn't there. So the guy is like, no, we always put the egg rolls in there. And I was like, no, man, I'm telling you, last time I didn't have it. So I didn't check again, but I, you know, because I knew the guy working there. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, I told him to make sure he put it in there. So it should be in there. I get home, start eating my food. No, egg roll again. So like the week after, I go there and I stop by and I check for the egg roll this time after they give me the food. And I cannot, and I don't see the egg roll before I leave. I'm like, no, I'm going to check for my egg roll because you didn't give me an egg roll twice. So I don't see the egg roll. So I tell the guy, no, this is the 3rd time you don't give me my egg roll. You better give me my goddamn egg roll or we're going to have a problem. The guy's like, hey, can I check the bag? And it was like under all the soy sauce. But like, I felt so stupid.
It's like, hey, listen, you Asian pieces of fucking shit. If I don't get my fucking egg roll, you guys are fucking over.
Oh, bro, I was ready to throw hands because I was like, this is the third time. Like the last two times, like I didn't feel like driving back. I'm gonna check right now in front of y'all, and dude, but I swear the other two times, like I got home, I literally flipped the bag upside down and there was no egg roll.
Did you check under the bag?
Yeah, I checked everywhere. Because I literally, and then like I said, that time I did a quick check because I had cars behind me because it was a drive-through. So I was like, I don't see the egg roll. Y'all better give me my goddamn egg roll because this is the third fucking time. And I'm literally gonna like make a scene right now. And they were like, look, can we check the bag, sir? And they're like, oh, it's right here.
And I was like, and the whole time they're like, it's under the sauce. I need my fucking egg roll. It's under the sauce. If I don't get my fucking egg roll, I'm gonna lose my shit. It's under the sauce.
I'm like, what if he was like a magician? Like he's like he had it like up under his sleeve or something. He's like, see, sir, it was right here the whole time. But
just making you lose your shit for no reason. That's something I'd do.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I was like, I mean, I still go there. Like I said, I love that place. It's something local, and I've been going there for years. So it wasn't a huge deal, but at the same time, it was like, oh hell no, not for the third time. Fool me once, shame on you. You know, I was about to go like J. Cole on them.
No, when I'm into restaurant BDSM. They can mistreat me, but as long as the food is banging, I don't give a damn. They could fucking spit in my face and stomp on my nuts. But as long as I get my food, I'm happy. I let it happen.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with you. You know those places where like you go and they like treat you bad on purpose? Like you
No,
paid...
I don't like that. I know there's a place in Vegas where they yell at you. I don't remember what the fuck it's called. It's like punks or something like that. It's where they purposely like treat you bad.
Yeah. I don't know if I would want to go to one of those places. Like I feel like I would end up like I would not want to leave any tip. Like I know you're acting mean, but you're still kind of being an asshole, so I don't want to leave no tip.
Okay, it's called Dick's Last Resort.
Now
I don't want to go there.
I wouldn't mind working there though. Like, you know, just letting all your frustration out. Like, hey, you piece of shit. Your mother doesn't love you because you're so ugly. You know, that type of insult. Like, just let it all out.
You trying to come up with an insult on the spot, that would be me trying to do my job. I'm like, yeah, you fucking retard. And then I get fired.
I think it would be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I don't know if I could do it like that. And then they hit me back with something like, well, yeah, well, you're fat. And I just fucking bust down crying.
I would love to do it in Spanish too. Like, hey, pito chico, aquí está tu mesa. Oh, you know, like, call them, I don't know. I feel like insults are more creative or like, well, maybe not more creative, but they're like funnier to me in Spanish. Like, can we talk about that? Can we talk about this real quick? Like, have you ever, you know, as a bilingual person, you know how sometimes when you're like interpreting or translating things, they kind of make no sense in the other language. Like, you got to interpret. You cannot translate it word for word. You kind of have to like feel what the meaning is and translate it. Like for example, how would you translate this? No, güey, es que ese cabrón estaba cagando el palo.
That guy was shitting the stick?
Yeah, what? like right? Like that sounds so dumb when you translate it.
Euphemism?
Yeah.
It's like a not a euphemism. What's it called? Like a common phrase?
Yeah, you have never heard that. Like that doesn't mean somebody's being like an asshole or somebody's just like being a dick. When you translate it, it's like, what? Who's shitting on a stick? What?
Or like they say like la cagaste, güey, which I mean. It's like, oh, you fucked up, you fucked something up, but it translates to you shit it.
Yeah, you shit it.
Which I mean, I guess could still kind of make sense, but yeah, I get what you're saying. It's fucking weird. I'm trying to think of more. Well, this is a euphemism that's pretty funny. So it's called "No tengas fiesta sin globos," which the little translation is. Don't have a party without balloons, but it fucking means don't be fucking without a condom.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like it makes sense, but It's like, yeah, I mean, what? How do y'all do it in Mexico? Y'all just don't buy balloons?
Or about how about se mamó? Like when somebody like says like a really good joke or like throws a really good insult or like says
I haven't heard that one
you
actually.
dude, you had never heard that one? Like when somebody like if you say
Oh,
really funny.
you listen to Franco's Camilla. That's where you heard it from, huh?
No, it's like very common, but like if somebody says something, it'll be like, oh, se mamó, way. And if you try to translate that literally, it'll be like, oh yeah, he sucked it
He's
off.
he sucked himself off.
No, it's just like se mamó, like he sucked it, and it's like what?
He did what to my ass?
Yeah, it's just so hard to translate things. But it's fun. Like how about pedo? Like pedo in Spanish, which means fart, but it's also used for like 100 different things.
Yeah, like que pedo, like what's up, or
Yeah,
like
yeah. Like what's up? What's the problem? Like
tienes estás ¿cómo se dice?
it can also mean drunk. Like está pedo.
That pedo, yeah, that's what I was looking for it. I couldn't find it. Um, Also, I like how I said what was it in Spanish? I do that shit all the time because I married into a family that doesn't speak English. So I'm trying to explain something to them, and I just like can't. So I'm just like, oh, sí, es el ¿cómo se dice? Yeah, es como like I just I
Um.
yeah, it's difficult sometimes. I'm not gonna cap.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty difficult. To translate
And
sometimes.
and like the first time I ever translated, I was put on the fucking spot. So basically, we were at a like it's sort of like 4K. It's like a school before you go into school type situation. It's like 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds before they go into kindergarten. And the translator or the bilingual person that worked there was running late. So they were like, "Hey, does anyone here speak English and Spanish?" And my mom was like, "I volunteer my son." And I said, "Huh? You what?" And so they were like, "Can you translate?" I said, "No, but I'll do it." And I got up there. I was sweating profusely. We were indoors with the AC, but my pits were drenched. I was so fucking nervous trying to talk in front of all these parents who probably didn't understand like shit all what I said. So it's like I don't know what I said. Like I literally can't even think of it. But I felt so fucking nervous. Like it was bad. I if I was there, I probably still wouldn't understand myself.
Órale.
I was just saying, yeah, orale is a good one too. Like orale means like
Anything.
awesome, like awesome, or
It's like an emotion. Like you can use that for anything.
it's
Like
like yeehaw,
like my grandpa just died. Órale. Like
orale,
bro, I just won the lottery. Órale.
orale.
Bro, my girl cheated on me. Órale. Bro,
Hey, we gotta go. Orale.
Órale. Yeah, it just means it's just like an emotion, really.
It means like hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, it just means like I heard you. Yeah. So I wanted to. Didn't you have a topic you wanted to cover today?
Yeah, we had topics and we just kind of fucking went on a tangent. God, I can't help but talk about audiobooks. It's all I do all day. Like I got a new job, but it's not. I'm still working at the same place. Shout out to the place we work at. They kept me on board. Basically, what I do now is I stand around and make sure that the weights of our products is accurate. And so all I do is just stand there, wait for people to bring the product to me. I put the temperature. I'm sorry, the weights and stuff into a tablet, and that's it. So I'm just listening to audiobooks all day. But I was listening, and there's these really long series that I'm listening to right now. It's called He Who Fights with Monsters. It's really good. Like I really do enjoy it. The character, he's I feel like not to say I'm literally him, but like I feel like I would be him if I was in a situation. And it's it's a good series, but like I was talking to Pavo about this because he was telling me he doesn't like whenever the main character has like different lives or like multiple lives or multiple attempts. He thinks the stakes aren't high enough, or this kind of it's kind of diminished because it's like, oh well, he'll just revive. Yeah, well, it's they're kind of the main character. Like, there's a very limited amount of instances where like the main character dies and the villain wins. Like, there's not a lot of movies like that. I mean, the only ones that can or movies or series. I'm sure there are, but I'm not gonna take my time to research. But I think the most common ones are like horror movies, because in like horror movies, usually the killer or the person being doing the things, usually they're like surviving. They survive after being beaten. They twitch or they open their eyes and like, oh my god, like it's getting ready for a sequel. I mean, and sometimes the main character dies. Like a good example would be like the Wrong Turn movies. And most of the Wrong Turn movies, which if you don't know about Wrong Turn, it's about these cannibals, hillbilly cannibals that always go after like a group of like campers or teenagers or horny ass people. So in those movies, every time they think they're about to get away with it, somehow they always get killed by the cannibals. Like there's one where like the fifth one, I'm spoiler alert, in the fifth one they're like trapped in this like snowed in insane asylum where they were like kind of found, and at the end there's like two characters that are left alive. Everyone else has been dead, eaten, and they're like riding around in a snow ski jet, whatever the fuck it's called, snowmobile. And then like they out of nowhere their heads just fucking pop off because apparently they put like the strongest, invisiblest fishing line ever, and they happen to like get their heads just decapitated by this dental floss made out of like fucking kryptonite or something. And like, oh, the cannibals are still alive.
Mm. So what I'm getting from you is that
All right, let me finish. I'm sorry.
okay.
Oops. So yeah, so like, there's not a lot of like, it's the main character. You can't be like, oh yeah, they're gonna die, or even if it's like a long series, or if you know like, oh, there's a second book coming out of this series. It's kind of like, well, the good guys always win. So it's like I appreciate a bad ending. Like, it's more common in video games where they have bad endings. Depending on like what actions you take and where the villain wins. I think that should be a little bit more common. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're just looking at the wrong genres, because there are definitely like a lot of tragedies, and there are a lot of like dark fantasy where things get more gory. But I think the genre that you most listen to or like read is not into that. But I think what got me confused when you brought up this topic, that there's like bad endings, as in the ending was terrible and regret ever watching this, and then there's like bad endings, like it ended bad but it was a good ending in a way, like it was just like somebody died or something, like the sad ending, the ending where things didn't end up happily ever after, but it's still writing wise a good ending. Like, for example, I'll give you an example of a bad ending, which was like terrible, made me wish I never saw it, is this anime. It's like it was like a hidden gem, but the ending ruined it. It's called Phantom Requiem for the Phantom, and the ending is like the worst ending I've ever seen on anything, whether it be movie, show, book, you name it, video game. So just a very quick recap. It's kind of like about this people that get kidnapped, and they get trained to be assassins. The first one, they kind of like take away all her emotions, and then the second guy, he kind of gets some freedom. He kind of gets to regain some of his memories, and then the third one, they just give complete freedom to. Anyways, the first and second, the guy and the girl fall in love, and at the end of it, they like leave this organization, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna go like run away together, because we're in love and we don't care if we have, they're gonna be hunting us for the rest of our lives. They're looking
Mhm.
for the girl's hometown because she doesn't remember where she's from. So right at the end, they think they found the place. She's like rolling in like this bed of flowers in the grass, like all happy, and then he's just sitting there watching her. And then the credits start rolling, and then you hear like this sound, which is like a suppressed gunshot, and then you see the guy dies like a few seconds later, and then the camera pans over to the girl, and she's dead. And I was like so confused, so I go online, and there was a bunch of other people that were also mad and confused. So then a guy like was like, "Oh, I found this type of flower, and apparently it's poisonous." So we're like, "How the fuck are we supposed to know that?" First of
Yeah,
all,
she just people don't just drop dead.
yeah, how did she die in like playing around in poisonous flowers? And then the guy dies off screen. Like you hear the shot and then he dies. And this all happened after the credits started rolling, but there was like still images like, being shown. So that was just such a bad ending. Like it was just going to be your cliche happy ending. Like, yeah, we're together. We're running away, trying to live our lives. Nope. You're both going to get shot, off screen. You're both going to die off screen. Like that's a bad ending. And then there's like bad endings, as in The Mist. You know that movie where like
Hmm.
they get trapped in like a
It's like a town.
yeah, it's like a Walmart kind of like a market, like a supermarket kind of thing. And then at the end of it, they're like, we don't want to get killed by the monster, so we're like gonna kill ourselves. So the dad kills his son, and then right when he's about to kill himself, the soldiers walk in to rescue them. Like that was a bad ending. That was like great. It was like a good ending. That was bad.
That and like the end of Silent Hill, the movie, where the main character, the main lead, and the daughter are like going back to their old home, and the husband is also there, but they don't see each other because it's sort of like they're still stuck in that weird mist world, like the other world. Um, and the guy is like alive. So like because basically the explanation would be like that they actually died in a car accident earlier, and the whole movie was like them going through like sort of like a dead town, like hell purgatory type situation. Um, and they can't come back because they're fucking dead. Like that's technically not a happy ending, but it's not a bad ending. It kind of leaves it open ended, which isn't bad. It's just it's like you keep like you're watching something, you're kind of like, yeah, the good guy always wins. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. It'd be kind of funny if like one day just fucking the main characters die or they lose, like with Thanos, in Infinity War. He at the end snaps his fingers and half the population gets fucking dusted.
Yeah. So there are definitely stories like that. You should Google some up. I've read some before, like that. I did have an idea. I don't know if this has been done. If anybody knows a book, a series, or something where this happens, please let me know, because I wanted to write a story which I just had this idea about, like, kind of you seeing it through perspective of the hero, right? It's like a hero versus supervillain, and the supervillain is like killing government, is like, doing all these things where people are dying, things are getting worse, and he's basically like, society is broken, we have to fix it, and we have to, you know, kill a bunch of people now so that we can make things better later. And like everybody, it's kind of like, like a dictator kind of thing where he's gonna have all the power because he doesn't trust other people. So my idea is it's like your typical hero versus bad guy, but at the end, like you say, the bad guy wins, the evil guy wins, and the hero, he doesn't kill him, but like he's in prison or something, and then like he comes out like 5-10 years later, and he expects like the world to be like this terrible state, like everything is just bad, everybody's sad, everybody's suffering, they're enslaved or something. He comes out and it's like this utopia where like, like this guy eliminated most of crime. This, like he solved like homelessness and like world hunger and everything because now he controls everything. So like, all these dirty politicians and all these people that abuse their powers, all these millionaires that hoard all the wealth, like he got rid of all that. So he actually solves everything with like his plan actually works, and he makes like things better. And then he asks people, they're like, don't you all want freedom? And they're like, I mean, we're good, we're happy, like things have never been better, like why would we want to fight them? I don't know. That's my idea. What do you think?
I think you're kind of edging really close. It's sort of similar to what happened in the series, How I Became God Emperor of Rhode Island. Like at the end, spoiler. And it's spoiler heavy. I really hope people haven't really been wanting to like read this series since we mentioned it all the time. But at the end, he actually does get to not rule the world, which was his original plan, but he was able to rule like Rhode Island, and he makes his own rules. Like he makes prostitution legal, and he makes drugs legal, but he also cures the drug like abuse and the the sex workers have to get like annual checkups, and they get like a 401k. Like it's sort of like that where he's the villain. He's literally like considers himself a villain to the end, even though he does kind of help save the world. And it just becomes like kind of a utopia. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So kind of like that, but like to a bigger scale, I guess.
Well, I mean, Thanos things could have worked. I mean, we never really got the numbers on whether or not his plan worked. Because they lived like that for what, like 8 years, 5 years in the movie. Because in the second one they come out and they're all older, so no one was like, hey, so there's a lot less mouths to feed, so there's a lot more food, and there's a lot less pollution. Because like for example, during COVID, everybody was indoors. Nobody was out. It was during quarantine. Dolphins came back to like Italy, like, or different places. Like nature was recovering. So like, they're all like, oh, but like we lost half our friends and our family. Well, it's for the betterment of mankind.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you want to talk about conspiracy theories?
Sure. Let's just jump ship. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's just jump ship. So you know how people were saying that COVID was like, oh, I don't know. This is a crazy conspiracy theory that a coworker told me, and it was that the governments all got together and they were like, we got to call the population. Like we have too many people, so we got to kill them off. So they released COVID to kill people.
Yeah, mostly older people, people with diseases, immigrants. Huh. Now that I think about it, it's kind of making sense.
Yeah, I was like, it kind of makes sense because I do feel the world is kind of overpopulated, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, you know how incompetent some of these governments are? Like the U.S. government already incompetent in a lot of areas. Now imagine a third world country. And you really think they're like, oh yeah, guys, like we're all gonna keep this secret, like nobody's ever gonna find out. Like yeah, let's just release this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, China.
Maybe. I mean, China. Welcome to the communist bashing podcast. No, but China does kind of keep a lot of things under wrap. I mean, a lot of like or not even like a lot, but like there's Asian countries that like they don't exactly tell them everything. Hell, North Korea, they have to get shit like shipped in illegally to learn about basic mathematics.
Yeah.
Or like news shit, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think it's possible. I think they keep things on the hush hush. I mean, you ever heard of Tiananmen Square?
Yeah. No, I do believe that like not all conspiracy theories are false. I believe like they exist for a reason. I just think like one where all the governments of the world got together and were like, we need to kill some of the population. Let's release this virus. Is just very far-fetched.
Like a secret UN. Like it's like a UN, but to like isn't it secret? Like the public doesn't know about it, and they're like, all right, guys, shit's kind of getting fucked. How do we unfuck this? And then one of them was like, murder.
Yeah.
Disease.
What is the most bizarre or crazy conspiracy theory that you know?
We've already done this.
Well, let's do it again.
With Yona.
Yeah, well, let's do it again.
I don't research the conspiracies like that, buddy.
Okay.
I mean, you kind of caught me on the spot.
Okay, I just want to say one more, and then we can move on to something else. So, there's a conspiracy theory. I don't know if you ever heard it, that birds are not real. there are like
Mm.
different levels to this theory. Where some I heard that all birds are like this, like kind of drone little things that the government uses to spy on people, and that
I
like
did hear that. Those pigeons.
yeah, and then there's the pigeons one that and then there's one that like the government killed all birds like around the 1970s or whatever, and they started releasing like these fake birds to like spy on people. They're just like little robots.
You
That,
know, it makes sense because how do you go from using these fuckers as like messengers to using them as like surveillance? Like they're dumb as shit. Have you seen them?
yeah, yeah, and that to me that was really crazy. Like, cause I just like, okay, maybe the pigeons ones, but then again, like, have you seen how much they shit? Like,
I have not. No, I don't live near a lot of pigeons. Seagulls are the ones that piss me off. They pooped all over my shit.
yeah, but that one is kind of crazy. Now, if you were to tell me that you believe there are some drones that are shaped like birds so that they can spy on people, maybe I could believe something like that. I don't know if we have the technology yet, but I could see that as
Oh yeah, we do. We do.
about like as a possible where like it looks very bird-like.
Dude, like, have you seen? I don't know what channel or what uh like nature channel does this, but there's one nature show where they actually they implant robotic spies like cameras, but they look like the animal, so they can like infiltrate them. They look like a maggot or they look like a squid. There's one about a I saw this one clip where like they have a little squid camera and it actually walks around like on the floor and it's so realistic to the point where like there's another octopus who actually like helps it out. Like this is kind of cute. So there's this one octopus that's a real octopus and in the camera and the camera helps the octopus kind of hide from a shark, from a predator, and then later on the camera is fucking being like he's going through like there's like a turbulent waters and it's getting thrown all over the place and the octopus comes out of its hiding hole, goes and like saves its life and like puts it in this little hidey hole and they're both like survive or whatever. It's really cute, but yeah, no, there's like we have the technology and these pigeons all they do is kind of walk around funny. I'm sure it can be mimicked.
Yeah, I was thinking more like in fooling humans, but then again, I remember how not all humans have the same intellect. So yeah, I'm sure he could fool quite a few.
But we can go. Here's what we gotta do. We gotta go find a bunch of pigeons and just fucking rip them in half.
Yeah, let's just rip a couple and see if they're robots or not.
Yeah, if they squirt out oil, they're robots. If they squirt out blood, we're maniacs.
Yeah, or maybe it's not blood, maybe it's just red oil, and we got to do a couple more to make sure.
Yeah, we gotta get all up in them guts. Well, okay, so this isn't a conspiracy. It's more so I am uncertain of how accurate the information is, but basically, I listen to tons of different like podcasts, and there's a lot that kind of point to the America making its own problems. Like when America tries to kind of put its foot into like other people's stuff, we kind of create our own problems. Like the Somalian pirates, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Like we kind of trained them and gave them the weapons and stuff to like. I think they gave it to them to fight against their government.
Yeah, I remember
like
that.
Yeah, well, apparently that's like 95% of the problems we have. Like they gave ISIS training and weapons to again fight their like government. The cartels also, we kind of had America had a hand in that. It's sort of like it's not so much a conspiracy, but I think we just need to stop getting involved with shit.
Yeah, the CIA needs to stop. Like I remember they were giving the cartel like I don't know if it was training, but they were definitely giving one cartel weapons because they wanted one. Oh, so let's get into that real quick. So there used to be
All
this
right.
cartel de Guadalajara in Mexico. I'm sure anybody that's watched the Netflix series will understand. But basically, it was like one cartel that basically controlled all of Mexico, and that kind of things were kind of peaceful because it was one cartel controlling everything.
Uh huh.
So when they arrested that guy, I think it was Miguel Felix Gallardo. I think that was his name. I could be wrong. I haven't
Getting
read
wrong.
about it in a long time. Or I actually never watched the Netflix show. I just remember reading about the cartel history, and
Yeah, I don't watch Netflix either. Yeah, go ahead.
I think he told the government something like, basically, because they were like, we cut the head of the snake, like the body will follow. But I think he said something like, no, you don't know what you have done. Like, you're gonna make everything worse because I was the one that was holding back, the violence. Something along those lines when he got arrested.
Well, our heart was in the right place. How about that?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe they were like, okay, well, I think that's how they went after the mob, right? Where the mob still exists, but it's like more underground. Like, it's like before when it was at its most power, they went after the heads of the families, and they probably thought like, okay, well, we got rid of it. It worked against the mob. It'll work against everybody else. But what we have found out whenever they do it with cartels, whenever they do it with terrorists, is that it doesn't work the same. Because like these people in this other countries in this third world nations, like they'll just like they
This is
won't
why
stop.
we can't have nice things.
Yeah, they won't stop. Like the Italian families, like the mafia families, they had like a structure, and yeah, maybe whenever they like the family head fell or whatever, maybe they lost something, or like you had other options. Like you lived in the U.S., you were like, maybe maybe I don't have to be a criminal. But to a lot of people in this other nations, it's like not being like once you're a terrorist for life. Once you're in the cartel, like you can't leave. Like they'll kill your family. Like it doesn't matter whether they kill your boss. Like now, what happens is they break into all these little gangs, and a lot of times they'll start targeting normal people instead of like trying to move drugs and be organized. They'll be like, you know what? I can go back to working a normal 8 to 5 job or whatever. I'm going to kidnap people, and that's how I'm going to make my money, or I'm going to make my own gang and make my own cartel, and they're going to write corridos about me.
Hashtag relatable. It's funny. Every time we start this, I'm like, dude, it's only been 6 minutes. There's no way we're gonna get a whole hour. And now I'm like looking at the time, and I'm like, it's about time for Craze combo cards.
Funny you say that because I have one right here.
Yay, we're on track here.
So this week the Craze combo card is describe something you'd hate to do for real, but find kinky to think about. So I'll read it again because it's kind of confusing. So describe something you'd hate to do for real, but find kinky to think about. Like you like to think about it, but you would never actually want to do it.
Um, is this a sex thing?
I'm guessing. Remember, we did get these cards from like couples thing. So
Kind of a fucking weird question to ask your partner. Like, hey, what's the one thing you want to do, but like you won't do? Like, you just like the idea of it. Fuck your brother.
okay, how about this? How about let's change it to describe something you hate to do for real, but you fantasize about, or you like to think about, like maybe quitting your job and starting a company or something. Like you will never really do it for real.
Oh,
Let's just get rid of kinky.
I'm gonna do both.
Okay.
I just think it was funny, to point it out. But all right. So this thing I always fantasize about is like if I were to lose everything, like for real this time, like my job, my family, like everything, I would just fantasize about going to like Mexico and just taking out as many cartel members as I can. Like fucking Batman or something. But I know like it's like I have no weapons. I'd have like a bow and arrow and like some throwing knives, and I won't last very long. But I always fantasize me like going around taking them out, like infiltrating their like places and killing the boss, and that's one of my like fantasies of something I would probably never do, but I think it'd be kind of cool.
Have you heard the story? I think it was this guy. I think it was on 4chan. Maybe it was on Reddit. I don't remember. But I read about a guy that basically was like, yeah, I got diagnosed with like really bad cancer. Like I got I think they gave him like a couple weeks, couple months to live. So he was like, I want to go to. I don't remember if it was a specific terrorist he wanted to kill or if he just wanted to go kill terrorists in the Middle East. So he's like, what do you guys think I should take? And people started like telling him like, take this, take that. And somebody told him to take a katana. And he actually did it. And he actually did it because he ended up getting arrested at an airport trying to travel with everything that the comment said. So it was real.
Oh, when you said he actually did it, like I thought, oh, he actually killed the terrorist. No, he just fucking he got stopped at the very beginning.
He got caught at the airport with all this crazy stuff that they told him to take. Yeah, but hey, he tried. There was an attempt.
Yeah, there was an attempt. But like that, I mean, I know I wouldn't get very far because, like I said, I have no weapons, no expertise. I'm almost 300 pounds. I would not get very far at all. I just be like I see them cornering this like the helpless, defenseless person, and I'm like, "Hey, you!" And I immediately get gunned down on the streets.
I thought of something similar, but I think it's even more unrealistic. But I thought about like, you know what? At one point, I was like, what if I just go back to Mexico and try to like, you know, improve Mexico? So my idea was like, you know,
introduce electricity to them.
No, more like
indoor plumbing.
More like start. You know, I think it was in the state of Michoacan where they did it, where they did like their own like defense force, where they were like, you know, the government's not helping much against the cartel, so we're going to do our own defense force.
Mm-hmm.
And what ended up happening was they became a cartel later on, and they were like corrupt. I'm like kind of like that. I don't think it would work, but kind of like, okay, guys, like, okay, look, if a cartel member comes in, like just shoot him down. Like basically like because you know over here in the US everybody's allowed to have a gun, but in Mexico guns are illegal. Like nah, we all gonna get guns. Somebody comes, somebody starts threatening us, we just like let it rain on them kind of thing. Or like organize like a kind of like a defense force, and like we're all going to protect each other, and then we're all going to race against corruption. Yeah, like I said, it's very unrealistic, but kind of like, okay, we're going to take the country back from all these dirty politicians and these cartels. We're going to take it back by force if we have to. But then I was like, yeah, I don't think almost anybody would want to risk their lives just because they know, it's going to cost a lot of blood. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, every time Mexico has done some type of revolution or some type of change in power, the next guy isn't always better than the last guy. He's just
always find a way to fuck it up.
Yeah, and I was like, you know how they said corruption, like power corrupts.
Power corrupts, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolute power corrupts, absolutely. Fuck.
Yeah, and I think Tolkien, Lord of the Rings.
I thought you meant the black character from South Park. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, I think he was. I read somewhere that he was trying to write a sequel for the Lord of the Rings, but then he stopped because he said that he just like in the story, like the sons of Aragorn would like become corrupted by power and stuff. So
yeah, I don't know anything about that, but yeah, sure.
So I'm like, yeah, I think even if everything were to work out, where I'm like, okay, let's start a revolution. We're gonna take our country back. We're gonna fight. I feel like would I be any better than the other tyrants? Or like, let's say I die and then there's like somebody else that keeps the fight going.
Your successor.
Yeah. My successor is like, okay, well, now I'm ruling over Mexico. So yeah, I'm going to do whatever I want. Bring me all the bitches.
All the tacos.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, it's very unrealistic, but I did fantasize about something like that where I was like, you know what Mexico needs? Mexico needs somebody that like kind of like Emiliano Zapata back in the day,
All right, that's my normal one. I'm gonna say my kinky one now, but yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, no, never mind. I was just gonna say, I prefer Emiliano Zapata over Pancho Villa because I know that's like the go-to guy, but I want somebody with less rape.
Yeah, a little less rape. My kinky one is anything that doesn't involve my wife. I think the idea is kinky, but I don't think I'd ever do it.
Wow, that's very big of you.
Yeah, I'm a Christian, man.
Loyal to the death.
Yeah, I'm afraid of hell.
I highly doubt that with the way you act.
Shush.
No, so to me, um, it would be kind of like a threesome with like another girl, but at the same time, it's like you. Like I would like, okay, yeah, that would be kind of hot. Like I think a lot of guys have that kind of fantasy, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I would never actually do it because I don't know. I just feel like it'd be kind of awkward. Because
Okay. Well, speaking on to elaborate mine a little further, I'm not gonna say names. I'm not gonna say names, but there's two. I don't even. There's two people who I kind of think about every now and then, but they're like lesbian, and I'm just like, what if like I was thrown in the mix there? But yeah, I don't think that's happening.
well, I used to have a lesbian friend. I used to think about that all the time because they were both pretty hot, and I was like, man, if they ever were to invite me, that'd be kind of hot. I'd be like, yeah, let's do it.
I think you know who I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna disclose who it is.
Do it.
I mean, I could tell you off camera, but no, it's always like, oh, dude, like, I mean, I'm basically a lesbian. I got tits. I basically have the equivalent of an enlarged clit. If they ever wanted to have a baby, I wouldn't mind donating.
When I was single, I used to fantasize about this, but it actually kind of happened, and then it was kind of weird. So I don't know if I want to share this story now.
I don't care. Oh, by the way, let me preface this by I love you, wife. If this ever gets translated, I love you. This is all purely theoretical.
I don't think it'll matter. It'll be your funeral.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, I used to have this fantasy about like, I don't know, like when I was younger, like about an older woman, like just being like trying to seduce me or something. And then
that's kind of literally the story of my life. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but then when I was like 18, 19, around that age, I was hanging out with a friend that was like 20 something, and we were just hanging out. We were trying to do a carne asada, whatever. We're trying to chill. And then he runs into this girl and this that he knew, and she was like a lady. She was probably like late 30s, early 40s, and she didn't look bad. Like she had a body on her. She had a pretty decent face. And then she just started like making all these comments like, oh yeah, I like them young, like, oh, are you a virgin because I like to take that B car. She was so forward that I felt uncomfortable because I had never had a woman hit on me like that. And she was just so forward and telling me like, oh, I'm gonna do this to you, I'm gonna teach you this and that, and it just made me uncomfortable. And then I was just like, I don't know about this. I always thought it was gonna be so hot if it actually happened, but then when it happened, I don't know, it was just, I was just not ready for it. Like somebody just being so forward, like, oh, I want you, I'm gonna do this to you, I'm gonna do that, like, you know. And I was just like, I mean, I was not gonna back out, but I was like, okay, this is not how I thought it would happen.
Yeah, that I mean, why? Damn it! I keep getting these notifications, and they're making sounds. How do I stop it? Anyways, so oh, here we go. This is how you stop it. All right, cool. Well, there's gonna be two instances if we need to use my audio where it's just gonna hear do 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 do. Anyways. I kind of like that idea actually. I kind of prefer it just because of the way my relationships have been. It's kind of like I like it when they take over because usually I'm the one that's kind of doing the work, and then I'm like, yeah, if she did that and genuinely did those things to me, like I'd kind of I'll be like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, if it was a girl that I knew, it would be like, yeah, that's kind of hot. No, but I'm telling you, I literally met this woman for the first time ever at a gas station, and then she literally started, like, oh, who's your young friend? Oh, are you a virgin, honey? Because I love to take that B car. Just like, she was just so forward from the moment I met her that I just didn't know how to act. Like I said, she didn't look bad, and like it's easy to say it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I guess as guys would never really get hit on like that. So I don't know how I would act today, but I know at the time I just like, this feels kind of weird. Like,
I'd be like, are you fucking with me? Like, are you?
Yeah.
Is there a camera?
it felt fake, but at the same time, it also felt like, what is wrong with this woman? Like, women don't act like this, you know? Like, women don't throw themselves at me. So there has to be something wrong with this woman. Like, she crazy, she drugs, like she was like basically like, oh yeah, I'm gonna suck you up so good, and this is like all out, bro. Like, she dialed it to 11, and I was just like, dang, if she would have been like a little bit like, oh, you think you're cute or whatever, I would have been like, okay, nice, you know, a little bit of flirting. No, I'm telling you, like, the moment I met her, this woman was like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you tonight. And I was just kind of like, I don't get a say on this. Like, she didn't even ask, do you want to? It was more like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you so good tonight. And I was just kind of like, I don't know how to act.
Honestly, dude, all I gotta say is that sounds like my type of woman. And also, I think you missed the craziest fucking sex of your life.
Well, I didn't miss it because I backed out. It was more like at the end of it, like the guy invited her to the carne asada, and we were there, and then she's like, "Oh,
you missed out."
We literally did make plans. He invited some girl. I don't remember where she was from, but she was from South America somewhere, and then that girl was supposed to come hang out as well. But then she was like, hey, something came up, but if y'all want, we can hang out either next weekend or we can hang out Sunday, because we're hanging out that Saturday. And I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of like, I don't know, bro. Like, I felt like I was like kind of let down. Like, okay, well, I was kind of already like, oh, well, this is gonna happen. But at the same time, I was kind of like, then again, something had to be wrong with that chick. Like, I'm definitely going to wear 2 condoms because, like, I mean, she acting like this with me. She probably acts like this with everybody. I don't know what kind of STD she got, you know?
Oh, I got laid. Doesn't matter. Ratio. W.
Well, I think that's it for this episode.
What was that? Are you just giving the horny one, or you're not going to do the regular? Or was the other one?
I said it was similar to you, like where I went to Mexico and like started a revolution about like, let's clean this country up.
Okay. I was just making sure. Yeah, all right. Sounds cool.
I mean, I could give another one if you want.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, because you're gonna be like,
I'm already pretty deep in like evidence that'll probably get me like court ordered divorce.
Yeah. But no, like, thank you guys for listening. Thanks to everybody that takes time out of their day to listen to us. And yeah, peace out.
Take care. Bye-bye.